All right, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome back. We have actually another round of 32 matchup for you guys. OGS facing off against OGSY. On the Legion team, we have Oka Gangnam Style. And over here on the Hellborn side, we do have Team Oppa Gangnam Style Yo. So, Min, two extremely different teams despite similar nomenclature. Welcome back, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, fresh and good. Right now, I'm fully refreshed for new games coming up after my good lunch just now. And I'm sorry, guys, just now I really miss up. Well, because I did not expect the game to start as so soon, and when I got back, it's already started. So Zyori had to cast alone, and that's pretty much. Well, I feel sad for him, man.
Oh, no.
But well, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But well, yeah. So OGSY, I know them. They are pretty decent, and yeah, they are good players as well in the TMM. And I play with them a couple of times, and wow, they are really powerful players. And well, but I don't know about OGS. I think, yeah. So we'll see this game and how they perform in this game.
Yep, absolutely right. And I will be curious as well. I've casted one of these, but I'm not sure which one it was. I've seen both OGSY and OGS in SCA brackets before, and I do recognize NK. So I'm starting to get a handle on the teams. I'm starting to recognize at least, well, some of the clan tags. So regardless, I'm excited, and let's see what they have in store. Band's going to start off on the Hellborn side with Predator, followed up by Polywog Priest, Dark Lady, Wretched Hag, Silhouette, Bubbles, Draconis, and lastly, Meraxis. So again, fairly straightforward bands. Makes me happy, well, bittersweet, I suppose. Happy to see that Draconis is banned as an indicator that people are taking Draconis seriously, but a little sad because, well, frankly, we're not going to be able to get to see Draconis.
Yeah, that's right. Draconis, I think, from the game we saw the previous set, I think it's the second game for today. It's so powerful. He farms so fast and so easily hit 600 GPM without, and it's no joke. I mean, he has such a high burst damage, and he's such a good tri lane. I mean, a carry for a tri lane. So, well, it's not surprised that it's banned, and I suppose to see it ban it more in this coming game. I mean, yeah, for the more coming up tournaments.
Yep, definitely. So first pick is going to fall into the hands of the Hellborn team, and they are going to go ahead and scoop up Pebbles straight away. Two picks on the OGS side right after a Luna Hammerstorm. So we've been seeing a lot of Witch Slayer Hammerstorm combos. Here we're going to see a Luna. Again, no surprise. Hammerstorm kind of in high demand tonight, it would seem. But I have to admit, so far this Hellborn team looking pretty scary. Pebbles, Torturer, and Behemoth. Talk about AoE magic damage there, Min. They have a lot of options as well. They have two good farmers, though. I imagine they're going to pick up a couple supports with their last remaining picks. Maybe a game where we see a support Torturer as well. But interesting stuff thus far. Armadon here picked up for OGS.
Yeah, for the Hellborn team, they got quite a lot of chain stuns and large AoE damage. And well, for the Legion team, well, I kind of like the Armadon picked up because Armadon is one that counters chain stuns, and with his, if he buy, he gets the what you call it, barrier idol. Yeah, if he get that earlier, and he will be able to tank them all, and another thing, he will be able to do more damage because he can tank more, and he will do more damage to them, and he will be like the front line which disturbs the Hellborn team's hero, which, like, okay, for example, Pebbles and Behemoth, both of them requires a portal key, so he will be the one that be at the front, spraying all the way the spikes, and to like prevent them from initiating their his teammates. Yeah.
Yep, definitely right. And again, this Hellborn roster so far begs that same problem that we were talking about in previous games. Is there enough farm to go around? And wow, they're going to go ahead and pick up a Sandwraith. I did not see that coming. Now I'm really concerned who's going to be taking what farm. Of course, Sandwraith going to be that kind of primary recipient. And what I imagine is going to be a tri-lane. I don't know how they're going to lane this here. Maybe they'll do solo Pebbles, solo Torturer, roaming Behemoth, and then a Plague Rider, Sandwraith lane, perhaps. Interesting choice. Wow, Sandwraith, not a hero we get to see too frequently.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see Sandwraith frequently these few days, but Sandwraith is definitely a good choice of carry because one of the things is the mobility of Sandwraith. So because of his ultimate and the recent buff, he's so overpowered. I mean, he can just farm at one lane and he can just join the engagement anytime he wants, just by casting his ultimate and just teleport over there and just join the engage with his teammates. Right. So it's definitely a good choice to pick up Sandwraith here.
And of course the change you're talking about is now deserted, the thing that allows him to do true damage, what would be his W, if you will, is not only affected if units are alone now, but also if they've walked onto Desert's Curse or have it on them. So that makes him a much more viable damage dealer significantly early on in the game. So that does make Sandwraith a little bit scarier, and we'll see how he plays out here. Of course, Pyromancer, also the last pickup for our Allegiance side, so OGS is going to go the Pyromancer route as that last pick, which is a little bit interesting. Going to go a little bit more aggressive. I guess they're going to go more on the side of we're not going to try to go toe-to-toe and out-carry this Sandwraith. We're going to try and end this game and be aggressive before Sandwraith can really take off. So we'll see how that works out for him. And we'll see how these lanes settle down.
Yeah, I suspect it will be a tri-lane top. Yeah, that's what I suppose. And a Suicide Plague Rider and a solo Pebbles at the mid. So it will give a free farm to Sandwraith because he have a Torturer and a Behemoth as a support, which is quite strong. If the Behemoth is able to set up nice blocks, will be able to get kills easily. So yeah. And one thing bad about Sandwraith is his farming speed. He's really hard to, I mean, his only AoE skill is the Desert's Curse, which can use it on creep and do some farming. I mean, yeah, but the rest of the thing is just last hitting. He does not have any other skills which can help him to increase his farming speed. So that's one thing bad about Sandwraith. His farming speed is really slow.
Yep, absolutely right. And here we're going to see a tri-lane on tri-lane for the first time today in this tournament. Interestingly enough, both of them double melee, one range. We're going to see Armadon, Hammerstorm, Aluna here for OGS. And as we already mentioned, it's going to be Torturer. Oh, pardon me. What am I thinking? It's going to be... oh, no, it is going to be... Yes, okay. Torturer, Behemoth, and Sandwraith. Pardon me. A little bit of... mental fart there. We'll see what Plague Rider does. He's headed to the top lane right now. I imagine he's just going to end up in that suicide lane, but maybe up here looking for a Bloodlust or something. No, he went Extinguish level 1. I don't know what Plague Rider's doing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's there for because he adds Extinguish as level 1, so I don't think he will be any use at the top lane.
Yeah,
so
he's
yeah,
back down.
Yeah, so, he hit better.
Weird stuff. So there's going to be Plague Rider versus Forsaken Archer, and of course Archer's going to get a little bit of a head start here with a free lane. You're going to be able to pick up a couple of last hits. In the mid we do have Pyromancer going up against Mr. Pebbles, and we'll see how this lane fares. This is a really interesting mid matchup. Now you would normally think, alright, Pyromancer's going to have that harassment advantage, but it's going to be all about the timing of their bottles, and then of course rune control with those two heroes. And what's interesting about it is they both have potential to kill each other so easily. Since they're so bursty, and also both of them with a skill-based stun, makes it a very interesting lane matchup in the way of dynamics, at the very least. If Pebbles catches Pyromancer a bit too far forward, an easy combo will be the end of Pyromancer. So, should be interesting. But tri-lane on tri-lane, Min, what are you thinking? Is there one setup here you like significantly better or the other over the other?
Well, I like for the Hellborn team, it's pretty much standard, where two supports actually supports one carry. But for the Legion team, they actually had I think they are going to do a farming Armadon right here. So, well, I really like that idea because, like what I said just now, if Armadon gets really out of hand in this game, he's going to tank the shit out of them, and he's going to be really tanky, and it's really going to be out of control, and they cannot stop him in any way. So, I kind of like the Armadon, I mean the farming Armadon, but of course, I prefer the farming Sandwraith than the Armadon because if Sandwraith goes out of hand fairly easily as well, and he will dominate his Armadon's teammate easily, and yeah, that's why, man. If he gets his mock early, and he will be able to participate, engage earlier as well, and yeah, dominate earlier.
Double damage Behemoth coming in. A beautiful stun from Hammerstorm. Going to ruin their parade a little bit. But Armadon's still going to get caught on the wrong side. He's going to eat a tree. Beautifully done. Looks like he's going to be able to survive. Had the back turned. Got a couple of spines off. Torturer, unfortunately, did use the impalement, but unable to really make anything happen beyond that. Got too low too quick. Very nicely done by Hammerstorm right there. OGS with great reaction. Behemoth has that mana potion on. He's got enough for another fissure. He wants to make it happen again. A couple of mana potions may get knocked off here. Armadon going to get trapped. He does have plenty of tangos. He may be able to eat his way around. A noble effort, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Impalement going to be used. There it is. Bloodlust going to come out in favor of the Hellborn side. Sandwraith actually going to be one to pick it up. He's going to head for the hills, though. Dangerously low. Aluna standing in the impalement. Looks like she's going to fall. Down she goes. Hammerstorm, the lone survivor. Enough for another fissure. Now Hammerstorm's going to be in big trouble. Sandwraith still hanging around. I don't know. If Hammerstorm stood toe-to-toe, he may have been able to pick up a kill. Oh, no. In comes Armadon. That's going to be enough to keep Hammerstorm alive. Is he going to be able to pick up a kill here? This Armadon can get in a position to spam these spines. Sandwraith needs to be careful here. Spine's only level 1, but he is still dangerously low. Hammerstorm survives. That's going to start this game 3-0. Was there a kill in another lane as well that I missed? Looks like Pyromancer actually fell in the mid to the hands of Pebbles also.
Yeah, definitely right. I mean, it's really MVP goes to Behemoth. Doing 2 nice blocks down there and blocking off both Armadon and Hammerstorm, but did they manage to kill Hammerstorm in the end? I don't think so, right? So yeah, but yeah, overall it's a nice try down there, and yeah, like what I say, if Behemoth is able to set up good blocks, they will be able to set up kills easily. That's why I like their strategy more compared to the Legion team.
Yep, absolutely. So they are in well, really quite good shape. In the mid lane, Hasted Pebble's going to come in here. He's going to chuck Pyromancer backwards, get a couple of auto attacks off. Is there going to be a Stalagmites to follow up? He does not. Oh, he does have enough mana. Nope, not going to make it happen. All the while in the top lane, though, Aluna gets taken out. Looks like same story, different chapter here. The Impalement and Chain Reaction combo from Torturer mixed with a Fissure. It's going to be the end of Aluna. So take a look at the GPM chart, see where everyone's farming at. Of course, Sandwraith in great shape. He picked up that Bloodlust. He's leading the way at 300 GPM. Forsaken Archer farming pretty well down here in the bottom lane. Kind of on par with Armadon, both of them just kind of slightly above that 200 GPM mark. So from the OGSY perspective, they are in pretty good shape. This Sandwraith, as you mentioned, off to a good start. He did go Ghost Marchers. Another block onto Armadon. There's the stun from Hammerstorm. I'm going to try and buy him some time. Desert's Curse. Armadon going to start taking a lot of damage. And that's going to be the end of him. That Sandwraith just hits too hard, too early on. Level 2 Desert's Curse, level 2 Deserted. You just saw how hard he was cutting through that Armadon right there. You can't forget Deserted is also true damage. 25 bonus true damage is absolutely huge. Mitigates that Armadillo. I guess you could even say Sandwraith is a bit of a counter to Armadon. Huh.
Yeah, because of the Deserted.
Yeah.
It's true damage, so it does not affect if he has his back turned.
Right.
Still the same.
So there you go. Sandwraith bringing something to the table, countering the almighty Armadon. He's in great shape, though, man. Picking up those 2 early kills. He's 2-0-2. That is way better than this Sandwraith should be this early on. Down in the bottom lane. Oh, Archer, nicely done. Going to connect with a volley, drop the piercing arrows right after. That's going to be the end of Pid. Level 5 Plague Rider, not much else he can do. And meanwhile, up in the top lane, Hammerstorm now in a little bit of trouble. Torturer doing a lot of damage with that Impalement, but Sandwraith, is he going to go down? He's in a little bit of trouble. Yep, Chain Reaction going to proc that last spine there, and that'll be the end of Sandwraith. Power Throw going to connect, and that's going to finish off Behemoth as well. 2-for-0 exchange up here. Armadon picking up that double tap. Very nicely done. That's a bit of a recovery for him. Let's get the GPM chart. Things looking slightly better for the Legion team. They're actually pulling ahead now from the team perspective. So much needed kill is going to level things out a little bit now. 3-5 here, 7 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's look like they are recovering from their loss from just now and managed to set up 2 kills for Armadon, and that's really huge. So perhaps they're going to recover as soon as possible. So because if Armadon doesn't recover, he's really very squishy, and he will be a type of hero that will be preyed on. So yeah, it's good that he get 2 kills and recover from there.
Yep, and on top of that as well, they did secure a kill on the Sandwraith, so that is going to slow him down a little bit more. But still, I mean, you really don't expect the Sandwraith to pick up anything in the way of kills or assists this early on. The fact that he's still sitting 2-1 and 2, even that assist gold starts to add up. He has slowed down a little bit now, pushing just about 300 GPM, but he is slowing down a little bit. In the mid lane, Pebbles barely going to be able to survive the Wrath of Pyromancer here. Slightly slower. I was looking at the speeds. He's actually got 10 movement speeds slower than Pyromancer, so Pyro may have been able to keep chasing him down to make something happen there. But all the while in the top lane, that's going to be a kill onto a Luna. Serial killer streak coming out here for the Brown Torturer. So far, this Torturer's been having a hell of a game. 3-0-1 here, 8 minutes in. Looking at the damage chart as well, leading the way for the Hellborn side. No big surprise there. But Armadon does grab his Beast Heart, so that is going to finish up his Helm of the Black Legion. Helm first before Boots. The 8-minute mark, not too bad.
Yeah, that's right. I will prefer him to go Helm first as well, because to make him more tanky and more not so vulnerable to the lineups right here. So to have a Helm, he will be more tanky. And middle lane, Pebbles is in big trouble, but he's managed to get off down there. Yeah, so, but I think that he should get a Vestment as well at top lane to minimize the spell damage casted by Torturer as well as Behemoth. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is one of these games where really both sides, I think, benefit from Vestments quite a bit. Probably the Hellborn team more so than the Legion, but both of them have just so, I guess really on both sides, yeah, that Vestments are going to be huge. And same goes for Shrunken Heads as well as this game continues on. I think this might be one of these games. If it goes on past that 30-40 minute mark, we're going to see a couple of Shrunken Heads come out for sure.
Yep, definitely.
So Luna's got to remove his car. I do not know what that means.
I removed my car.
I don't know. I'm not sure where his car is that it needs to be moved from. Hopefully he doesn't get a parking ticket on account of this September qualifier. I don't know, man. I'm a little dumbfounded.
Yeah.
So I do have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm either starting to get sick or allergies are acting up. I'm definitely feeling a little bit hoarse. I'm starting to work on that stuffy nose, so I'm doing the best I can, hanging in there. But yeah, my apologies if I sound a little more monotone than usual. It's not my intention, of course. But I don't know, man. The seasons are changing. It's that time of year.
Yeah, when seasons suddenly change, then you'll be more prone to sickness, like stuffy nose and such.
Dr. Min strikes again. I'm checking out this Forsaken Archer, man. She's in the middle of like an awesome bow shot. I still like this Pyromancer skin. I just can't get over it.
Yeah, I love it as well. It's so nice.
It's so intense, man. He looks sort of like that guy from Power Rangers. You know, you ever watch Power Rangers?
Yeah, the first season one, right?
Yeah, the bad guy with the Z.
Bad guy.
Lord.
The Z.
Lord Zed.
Z-Lord or something.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Lord Zyori.
Zyori.
But it looks like that mixed with something. I don't know what. Mixed with something out of Diablo. Character out of Diablo, probably. Well, hopefully it doesn't take Luna too long to remove his car. That would really put a damper on our fun here, Min.
But it's kind of strange if someone paused the game and say, I need to remove my car. I was like, what? Do not put coupons or something like that?
The remove car, the weird part is just like the remove is an odd word choice for that sentence. I mean, it'd be one thing if he just said he just needed to move the car. You know, maybe it's parked illegally or whatever, or someone's got to get out of his driveway, but he's going to remove. It's like, well, where is it? It sounds like he has it inserted somewhere. Is it stuck somewhere? What do you mean you have to remove it?
Yeah, I get your point.
Like, it's just a strange...
The wrong choice of word.
Yeah, it's just, it makes me giggle. Oh, man. Okay, he's back. He made it. Alright. So let's get back into it here.
Yeah.
Alright, where were we? Oh yes, Sandwraith was continuing to farm away, sitting 2-1 and 3 now. He's hit level 6, and as you were talking about, this is when Sandwraith gets scary, and for that reason, he's going to show up in the bottom lane. Forsaken Archer going to be able to pick up a kill thanks to the piercing arrows, but it is going to be a 1-for-1, a Plague Rider in exchange for a Hammerstorm. Huge reaction from the Hellborn team, though. That was so explosive. Right after the pause, they all just appeared down in the bottom, and they made it happen. So very nicely done. I guess kind of a support for a support in the end, but I think that favors the Hellborn side just a little bit.
Yep. Definitely right. I mean, it's a good exchange to bring down Plague Rider, because Plague Rider he is a support, but he's kind of a hard support where he needs Astrolate and Barrel. So yeah, it's definitely a good exchange down there.
Yep. Absolutely right. And of course, Sandwraith, as we mentioned before, that global ulti, he can farm in one lane and gank in another, and of course he did get the assist gold for that. In the mid lane, oh, a nice attempt from Mr. Pebbles. Unfortunately, though, not going to be enough to secure a kill onto Pyromancer, and the likes of Hammerstorm and Pyro will be enough to finish off poor Pebbles there. Sandwraith, though, has finished his Ghost Marchers, has his his life tube as well. So just a matter of time before he picks up the Helm of the Black Legion. I would assume he's going to go for that first, but yep, not going for super early Mach, but he's on the right track at least.
Yeah, I prefer Sandwraith actually to go for a tank build, then go for the Mock of Braden, because if he's not tanky, there's no point that he gets the damage item, as he can get burst down so easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a little initiation onto Armadon there. Ooh, the Desert's Curse not going to connect. But yeah, if he had thrown the Desert's Curse right away, allowed Torture to stay up in his face, there's a chance they may have been able to take down the mighty Armadon right there. I was thinking that they may go for it. Armadon sitting on only level 1 Armadillo as well. He did get the ultimate and 1 point in Snot, as well as that 4th point in Spine Burst. So that's a little scary. Level 1 Armadillo isn't really so effective. In my mind, the normal Armadon build is level 4 044, level 4 Spine Burst, level 4 Armadillo, quickly as possible. In the mid lane, Pebble's going to be in some trouble. Yep, there's the piercing arrows to come out as well. He is going to throw Stalagmites. Connects with Hammerstorm, but yep, not going to be enough. Torture going to get caught by the volley. Easy kill there for the Legion. Hammerstorm actually picking up that last hit with one last auto attack. So although our Hellborn side started off on the right foot, they're now quickly falling behind. Sandwraith is still farming very nicely. The rest of their team, though, starting to fall off as this Archer's moving around the map. 4 heroes now pushing the mid, and it looks like this tier 1 tower going to fall reasonably quickly. Behemoth going to run by. And he may get caught here. Nope, not going to get caught, but playing with fire, so to speak. So you're going to see that tier 1 fall. Forsaken Archer, the one to pick up the last hit. So we'll see. All tied up now, 7-7, but a nice golden experience lead here in favor of OGS.
Yeah, that's right. Currently, Legion team has recovered to the game and is currently on par to the Hellborn team, and quite a balanced game right now, as we can see right here. So, well, on middle lane, Hammerstorm is in big trouble. Wow, a combo with Pebbles and Behemoth, a toss and a Fissure. It bring down Hammerstorm so easily.
Yeah, another easy kill there for the Hellborn, so that'll help level things out here once again. In the way of other item choices, let's see here. Armadon has now picked up his Mystic Vestments. We see Pyro has also picked up Red Boots investments. Yeah, we're going to see a tier 1 mid-tower exchange, it looks like. The Glyph is going to be used, though. I imagine OGS is going to go for a deny. Nope, not going to be able to get it. And, yeah, that's going to, again, level things out a little bit, at least in the gold department. 2 towers gone, both the tier 1s in the mid lane.
Yep.
Sandwraith and Armadon still just going toe-to-toe up here in the top, farming away. Sandwraith 65 and 33, while Armadon only 44 and 7. So needless to say, Sandwraith getting the much better of the farm and also denying a fair bit of farm here as well. Looks like the extra attack damage from those Ghost Marchers really coming in handy. Unfortunately, Armadon doesn't have a hatchet either, so it's nice to see that Sandwraith really capitalizing on all those items, especially having that hatchet.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, but Armadon is really tanky right now. He has a Basement, he had a Helm of Black Legion, so it's not easy to burst him down so soon. So he has his Armadillo level 2, so it's still possible. They need just an amount of burst damage to be able to burst Armadon down instantly. Yeah, so it looks like there's an action going at the bottom lane. So Hellborn's getting at bottom. Oh, and a creeping body laddered, but there's nothing much. And Sandwraith is going down, going for Hammerstorm, and looks like Hammerstorm is in big trouble right here. Creeping body misses Sandwraith, and there you go, Hammerstorm down. So Armadon potted bottom as well. So this is a back position for Armadon. It's been blocked. Well blocked by Behemoth, and there he goes down as well. Nice play good, but not in much use down there, so it's a waste ultimate for Plague Rider. Yeah. And they are still pursuing, continue, and Pyromancer is in big trouble, and he's going to go down here. And Sandwraith is still pursuing for Forsaken Archer, but he's back off right now.
Wow.
Well, definitely good engage coming out from the Hellborn team. Really good shape right now, dominating all the way. Yeah.
Oh man, she's gonna get caught here. Plague Rider gonna get stuck as well. Luckily, the tower is not bashing him because that could be really bad news bears. But yeah, very well done by the Hellborn team. Just so much aggression. No need for them to play more passive. Just diving well past that tier 1, even into the tier 2. Very nicely done. That Armadon, unfortunately, NKY there, his positioning just wasn't so good. He took the bulk of that damage to the face, not even from the side, so he just dropped like butter to a warm knife. I was thinking he might be able to start turning that fight around, but unfortunately just got bursted down way too quickly. So very nicely done. Pebbles not quite picking up the hat trick there. Probably should have been. He did get 3 of the kills, but the timer did expire in between the double tap and that last one, so regardless, he does have enough to pick up that portal key, and now Armadon going to get engaged on in the mid lane here. He did have his back turned, though, so they do disengage, and that's going to be the end of it. Stacking those spawns a little bit. Behemoth going to go in. He is going to drop the ultimate. Pebble's going to come in here as well. He's going to catch Pyromancer, but that'll be enough to secure the kill onto Armadon. Pyro going to fall shortly after here, and it's looking like a massacre in favor of this Hellborn side. Another nice chuck from Pebbles. Torturer dangerously low. Is going to fall. Luna going to be one to pick up that kill with the power throw. And actually, Luna going to pick up a double tap, maybe even a hat trick here if Torturer, or pardon me, if Sandwraith isn't careful. Power throw going to be up in 1 second. This very well maybe the end of Sandwraith. There it is. Beautifully done by KKZ on OGS. And actually going to be a genocide in favor of the Legion. Wow, man, I don't know how that happened. It looked like the Hellborn was going to be able to take that fight, then all of a sudden, things started turning around, things got cleaned up, and a Luna comes out the victor. What the hell happened, buddy?
Yeah, it all thanks to Amadon. He tanks, and they did not burst him down immediately, and he had some time to actually do the spike burst, and did fair amount of damage to all of them. And Behemoth used his ultimate just on one hero, so he fairly wasted his ultimate down there, and after that, they overextend a bit. They don't want. Sandwich didn't want to fall back, and because he sees his teammates is like all at the front line, so he just ulti and just went in. But then here, Savior comes. Aluna came and cleared all of them down there. So
Yeah.
wow, good play by Aluna.
Absolutely, and now, I mean, we have really the most even game we have seen all day. It has gone back and forth. Now 12 to 15, 19 minutes in. It's been action-packed, and I have no idea which team is going to take this match. Really, for the first time today, it's refreshing to see a game that's actually quite close, with both sides being aggressive. We're going to see this Tier 1 tower in the top lane probably fall pretty quickly here. The glyph is going to be used. It's going to delay the inevitable, but they might be able to sneak in for a deny here. Still out of range. They're just going to go straight in for this fight. A port's going to come in. Torture Illusion is going to be in the front line. Armadon's here. He made it to the party. He's brought the nachos, and he's ready to open the nachos and make the party happen. Tower going to get denied, and that's going to be the end of it. So actually no fight going to commence. That Armadon port actually very well placed, and that does push the Hellborn team back. Nice deny here from OGS. Let's see, Plague Rider is level 11. He's got that level 2 ulti. He wants to make the Plague Carrier happen, but he's not going to find the opportunity. It looks like OGSY may choose to disengage this a little bit. All the while, OGS actually does get the Tier 1 tower kill in the bottom lane thanks to this heavy ballista. That is a hero ballista there, Min.
Yeah, that's right.
So that does level it out again. An unbelievably even game. In the triple digits of experience, only about 1,100 gold. Could swing either way. We do see a portal key now picked up by Pyromancer. Always a big item pickup. That's going to allow him to be a little more aggressive here. Behemoth with invisibility rune. They're going to try and make this happen. There's some initiation here. Torture onto Armadon. Torture going to be the first to fall. Aluna going to be the one to pick up the kill. Behemoth going to drop a fissure that will end his invisibility. He's going to be forced to head for the hill. So OGS just going to get a free kill out of it. Unfortunately, this Torture has just been a little bit too far forward this game. And this is the problem with Support Torturer. You really need those early levels, those early items to be able to use Impalement to its fullest potential. We see Torturer leveling up Impalement as the primary here. It is sitting level 4. Level 4 Agonizing Bonds as well, but he just can't get in the face of our opponents, or of his opponents, I should say, for a couple reasons. One, because he's sitting on Striders. Inevitably, when you drop Impalement, you're going to start taking damage to those Striders. Really not the best choice on Torturer, in my humble opinion. And additionally, he's just got no stats. He's a squish bag, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to get into, well, the range needed for Impalement to be super effective.
Yeah, that's right. But well, I know his situation because he can't get any farm, so the best boots he can go is Strider. So I won't blame him for that. Yeah.
Yep.
So I would rather spend a 300 gold more to upgrade the red boot to a Strider instead of just using a red boot, because with Strider he can actually roam around much more easier. But of course, he has his limitations on a Torturer, where he is not able to catch up with his where he casts his impalement, and is not be able to catch up with his enemy hero. And yeah.
Yep, absolutely right. So that's a good point, though. It is a double-edged sword, although I listed a bunch of the negatives. It does bring some positives to the table. That does allow him to move around the map a little bit more quickly. And in the support role, that is a very valuable thing to be able to do. We are going to see Armadon port in. The tower's going to fall. Armadon going to port into the danger zone. He's going to get right on the track of the pain train. And wow, the Plague even going to be used. That's going to be the end of Armadon. But at what cost right here? This Hellborn team in a little bit of trouble. No kills going to come out after the Forsaken Archer ulti used. And they are going to scatter about. The Astrolabe going to be used. Pyromancer going to blink forward. Plague Rider in big trouble. In comes Pebbles, though, with a counter initiation. That's going to be the end of Pyromancer. It's a 2-for-0 exchange so far. Plague Rider trying to port out. It's not going to happen. He's going to fall to the hands of Hammerstorm, who does drop the stun. Very nice, but he's going to pay with his own life. That's going to make it a 1-for-3 in favor of OGSY. They're going to be in great shape here. Of course, Sandwraith picking up a lot of assists there. 6, 2, and 8. Going to stick Sandwraith as well as Pebbles, the two with fantastic KDAs over here for the Hellborn side. Let's take a look at the GPM chart, Min. Looking a little bit more rough for this Legion team now. Forsaken Archer still in great shape, but Sandwraith leading the way with flying colors. Pebbles nipping at the heels. We'll see if they can keep up this aggression. How's Sandwraith doing? What's he got in the bank? Just about 1,200 gold. So not working on a super fast mock, but as you mentioned, going that slightly more tanky build with the Helm of the Black Legion first does give him a little bit more viability in these team fights. So well done by OGSY there.
Yeah, definitely. It's really well played by them, and Sandwraith is still at the top GPM, which is really scary. I'm supposed he's heading for his Maw of Brilliance right now, and Behemoth. Oh, did I saw something? He had a mock already. So, okay, so he has completed his Maw of Brilliance, and he's really scary right now.
What?
Wow,
Wow.
I did not know as well.
Wow.
I think he has a high in his stash.
Okay. Well, man,
Yeah.
that changes some of this analysis a little bit. I don't know how I missed that. I should have thought about the timing a little bit better. I was thinking, what happened to his farm? It looked like it was going pretty well. I didn't even look at the raw creep score. 111 creep kills. Forsaken Archer has finished her Nullstone. That is fantastic. So a little bit of caster fail right there. My apologies, guys. We'll blame it on allergies. But Mock of Brilliance now in the inventory of Sandwraith. Expect to see that farm skyrocket. That is the Runed Cleaver of Sandwraith. And also now in these team fights, he's just going to be able to ult in and do a ridiculous amount of damage with that Mock of Brilliance. Especially with that deserted level 4. Oh, the synergy. Man, he's going to be hitting like a Mack truck.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
So he's really powerful right now, and Legion teams needs to be really careful with their engage, and because Sandwraith can go in anytime, anywhere. So yeah, they have to be really careful. And Behemoth is almost completing his portal key, and that's really huge for the Legion team.
Absolutely, the Hellborn team, absolutely
Yeah,
right.
the Hellborn
And
team.
yeah, and those last two creeps are going to be enough here. He's going to be able to run back, and he's going to grab that PK. So that is scary, as we already seen. Pebbles has his in full swing now. He's got the Mighty Blade, and it looks like he'll be working towards a shrunken head here. Plague Rider is in a great shape as well. He's got the Astrolabe, has his Shaman's Headdress, and I can only imagine he'll be working towards a Barrier Idol. Both Shrunkens and Barrier Idols, items that we talked about earlier on in this game that we both predicted would have kind of a driving force here. So not surprised at all to see those items. Now that Behemoth has that PK, though, hitting level 11 quickly is going to be high on his priority list. That level 2 ultimate is going to be key. This is one of these situations where now it's great he has the PK, but the level 1 Shockwave just doesn't do that much damage when you're looking at a level 12 Armadon, level 12 Hammerstorm. Needs to level up at this point. Aluna going to get caught, though. It's going to be an easy kill for Pebbles. Actually, Torture going to be the one to pick up the last hit. But now Pebbles going to be caught way too far forward. He's going to fall. Torture going to go in. In comes Sandwraith. There's a Shockwave. It's a damn good one. Looking like OGSY might be able to take this. Behemoth is going to fall, though. Hammerstorm taking a lot of damage. Sandwraith in the mix now. That Mock of Brilliance just too much. And there it is. Hat-trick coming out for Sandwraith. They're going to keep it going. Forsaken Archer, the lone survivor. He's going to head for the hills. He's going to be able to survive no problem. But this is exactly what we were worried about. If Sandwraith can get an early mock, he's going to become unstoppable. 2,500 gold in the bank. He's having a field day at this point, 22-16. He very well may just carry this game for the win. Not much Forsaken Archer is going to be able to do to go toe-to-toe with Sandwraith in the near future. Especially if he goes something tanky next. If he goes for a Wingbow, or if he goes for something like a Behemoth Heart, this Sandwraith is just going to be out of control, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So Forsaken Archer, he's heading for a Geometer's Bin. It definitely will help out against a Sandwraith, but if he purchases a Geometer's Bin, he does not have much damage output as well. So compared to a Sandwraith right now, he's so painful with his desert when he casts his Desert Curse, and with his Deserted Apply, he's so painful, and yeah, it's really huge.
Yep. I have to say, in that last team fight, though, Behemoth did a fantastic job. As I mentioned, it was only a level 1 Shockwave, but it was a damn good one right there. Really couldn't have gotten it much better. He caught at least 3, if not 4 of those heroes, which was pretty good for the way that fight was shaping up. Sandwraith's going to ult up to the top lane here and just pick up a bit more farm. I guess he didn't. I guess he poured it up, pardon me. But now level 16, so mobile. That ultimate has such a short cooldown now, only 80 seconds. So you can rest assured, pretty much every team fight he's going to have it up. And also, even if he's already in the team fight, it's so disorienting. Great for just an initiation tool, even if he is nearby, and also just the added damage that it puts out. Of course, the illusions do scale with his right-click auto-attack DPS, so as he gets more and more beefy, that ultimate continues to be more and more powerful.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. So yeah. But well, they had an Armadon, so it's fairly easy that they can control Sandwave by using his first skill. But right now, his first skill is still at level 1, the Snout Storm. So if once you are able to slow down Sandwave, he will not be able to deal any attack to his teammates. So yeah, that's one counter onto Sandwave. So yeah, it depends how Armadon's going to play his part in this game.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. One of the hard things about Sandwraith to deal with is just that dissipate passive. It just makes him so tanky, and of course it returns all that damage. And that's one of the abilities that has been changed the most about Sandwraith. He's going to get caught here. He's going to drop the ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. You see how much damage he was able to return there, though. It doesn't look like much, but that adds up pretty quickly, spread out over a fight. So that is the mechanic that has been altered many a time in the past to try to get Sandwraith where he is. And Sandwraith is an interesting case. Quite a few people, I think, would argue the case that Sandwraith is either too strong or too weak. He's an impossible hero to truly balance. I've heard that argument from a number of different people. It's sort of an interesting thought, and just sort of evidence of his history in the competitive scene sort of speaks to that point. He's either totally ignored or first picked / insta-banned pretty much every game. So I don't know. Perhaps now this is the closest he's ever been to totally balanced.
Yeah, perhaps right now. Well, but how do I say this? But he is overpowered, but he's not really overpowered in another sense because he's really hard to farm. He does not have a good farming potential. So it's pretty balanced down there. But once he gets farmed up, he's overpowered. So in another sense, it's kind of balanced because you had to farm really hard to get an item, but well, hard work paid off. So if you manage to get a farm, you get overpowered. So yeah.
Yep, absolutely right. So I think he fits in pretty well now. That damage reduction on Dissipate used to be 20%, I think, and it used to return chaos damage, not magic damage. All sorts of changes have been made to that skill. Looks like we could see some initiation here, though. Was that a Sandwraith ulti that I heard? And indeed it was. No initiation to follow up, though. He's just going to come in here. We'll see. Plague Rider, of course, using that Cursed Shield. That's going to help against this Armadon quite a bit, giving additional armor to the team. Of course, the spines are physical. Going to help against that Forsaken Archer quite a bit as well. Barrier Idol now complete. Plague actually still sitting on red boots. The Shrunken Head on Pebbles complete as well. And Torturer well on his way. Does have 2 fortified bracers. And does have the Mighty Blade as well. So Torturer finally getting a little bit more tanky. Should have a little more success in these upcoming team fights. Sandwraith going to be able to pick up that Frostburn, though. And I imagine that'll turn into a Geometer's Bane Frostwolf Skull in the near future.
Yep, that's right. So, well, Torturer, I think he needs more mana than compared to health. So, well, he needs health. Yeah, that's every hero needs health to stay alive in the battlefield. So, but especially Torturer, he needs a lot of mana because of his ultimate. 2 is because of 3 of his skills requires to be activated and needs a lot of mana. So yeah, I prefer like some sort of arcane ring on him instead of just like spamming on bracers.
Yeah, I would agree with you that spamming bracers probably wasn't the most cost effective here. Just going for what I would have preferred to see, instead of the Striders, just going for some power treads or some steam boots rather, and then move into the Ring of Sorcery like you were talking about, then just straight into the Shrunken Head is probably the build that I would have put out in my head. But I think it's because he had such a slow start, felt the bracers were necessary to get back on track. So in retrospect, might not have been the best choice, but I understand why he did it at the time. Ooh, Sandwraith at the top. They're going to try and catch him. The volley not going to connect. Of course, with that Frostburn, He is a speedy little devil, and with that Desert's Curse, he's going to be going even faster. Wow, 480 when he's on the sand. That is super scary. One of the reasons that item is so powerful on Sand Wraith. Pardon me, especially in tandem with those Ghost Marchers.
Yep, exactly. That's why Sand Wraith, he needs speed as well because he needs to do physical damage to his opponent. And looks like there's an engage going at the bottom lane. Sand Wraith might pot to bottom. Did he? Yes, he did. And there's two engage going on. Wow, Plague bouncing around, but managed to bring down anyone. But Aluna is going down, but not going down at the same time. Wow, Astrolabe saved his life. So well played there. Yeah. And they managed to only drop down Armadon. So that's a good news actually. If you burst down Armadon immediately and not allow him to leave him there to control Sand Wraith. So well, good choice down there made by Hellborn team.
Yeah, it was a good engage on both sides. Again, this behemoth got a beautiful shockwave off using that portal key to the fullest of its potential. Of course, at level 2 shockwave as well, so getting a little bit of extra damage in there. But on the flip side of things, equally well done by this Legion team, I think. As you mentioned, Aluna looking like she was going to get down, turning that stun at the last second, and then, of course, Astrolabe, the icing on the cake to keep her alive. So a nicely orchestrated team fight, really, for both teams. Item choices here, we do see Forsaken Archer has finished that Geometer's Bane, so not a big surprise. We did mention that a little bit earlier here. But slowly transitioning into that hard carry. Forsaken Archer. Barrier Idol has been picked up by Armadon as well, as Hammerstorm here moving towards that Shrunken Head does have the Mighty Blade. So really nothing too surprising in the way of item choices here. Behemoth has since picked up a Ring of Sorcery of his own, going to buff up that mana pool a little bit. He did go Ring of Sorcery after the PK, so sort of a late ring, but does have it nonetheless. That should help out Torture a little bit, kind of as we were talking about. Looks like we could see some initiation here. In the mid lane, there is an Invisible Pebbles looking to make something happen. Are they going to try and make it happen onto Armadon is the question. Also, Plague Rider is level 16, so of course the level 3 Plague Carrier could be a big deal in this upcoming team fight.
Yeah, that's right. So looks like they are not going in for the engage. So
yep, playing it a little bit passive here. I think they're trying to avoid engaging on Armadon.
Oh, there you go.
If at all possible. And I'm just going to throw a little bit of harassment out there. I like that. Just going to scare him back a little bit, poke him, let him know that they're not afraid.
Yeah. Wow, they all TP to top.
Uh-oh, and are they going to be able to catch him? It looks like they are going to be able to get the Forsaken Archer. Wow, very nicely done by OGSY right there. Maybe a bit of overkill, but Forsaken Archer a very valuable target, so you can understand why they dropped so much to take her out. What are they going to have to give up, though, for that Forsaken Archer kill? Are they going to be able to just pressure this lane and end up taking a tier 2 tower? And it looks like that may be the case. I thought OGS may opt to pressure mid and maybe tower race, take a little bit of an advantage, but the positioning just wasn't there, and they're going to be forced back. I don't know if they're even going to be able to defend this tier 2 without Forsaken Archer. So a huge kill for OGSY, and yeah, they're going to be able to get a tower out of it. So it's always good to look at after a kill. Yeah, that's great, but what's the follow-up? They're going to get the last, well, the second to last tier 2 tower, and that is absolutely huge. Forsaken Archer dead for another 30 seconds. They're going to keep pressuring. I guess they're assuming she doesn't have enough for a buyback. At the very least, the glyph has been used here. This could be bad news bears, man. The barrier idol used. Those creeps are going to survive through all of it. Behemoth going to go in. There's the shockwave. They might be able to grab a kill onto Armadon. A lot of crowd control. Yeah, he's going to fall like butter to a warm night. Nothing they can do about it. That's going to be a 2 for nil. The tier 3 tower going to fall. And OGS, they were playing one hell of a game. Then all of a sudden, they're just crumbling. 15k gold, 15k experience, and now a lane of racks are standing between them and catching up to OGSY. Pardon me. Hammerstorm going to go in, and he's going to get dropped like he's hot. Forsaken Archer's up, though. That split arrow doing a lot of damage. They do pick up 1 kill. It's going to be on that Plague Rider. The Plague is going to come out, but only going to catch a couple of bounces. Not going to be enough to secure a kill. Regardless, though, Min, the damage has been done. Forsaken Archer picks up a kill to clean it up, but wow, I did not think racks were going to fall right there. It looks like Sandwraith just picked up his Frostwolf Skull.
Yeah, and right now he's really tanky with the Frostwood Skull, and oh, I don't know how they are going to stop the Sand Wraith right now because he's fast, he's tanky, and he's painful. He's everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
There's no getting away from him. There's no killing him. There's no getting away from him. Wow. At this point, they need some sort of crowd control. They need a sheep stick. They need something like that to try and lock him down long enough that they can just secure a kill. Right now, they're just lacking on the crowd control front. We've seen this Hellborn team be successful over and over again because of their huge amount of AoE disable. They've got Behemoth with all of his AoE stuns, Pebbles with the Stalagmites, of course. The Plague Rider ulti, not quite a disable, but a lot of AoE damage. Then Torture with all the AoE he brings to the table. They just have a slightly better team fight team, and unfortunately, Armadon just hasn't been finding that positioning. You can see the skill level of these two teams here, as they always seem to engage on Armadon when he has his back away from them. At the very least, engaging into his side. They're going to be able to grab another kill here, basically a free kill onto a Luna. Kind of unfortunate for her.
Yeah, that's right. So it's really a good choice for them to burst down Armadon immediately, because either when they manage to drop Forsaken Archer or Armadon, they will be able to push in the base without any difficulties.
Absolutely right. So it looks like the Hellborn side, though, they are going to group up. They're going to make it happen. I think the Frostwolf Skull on Sandwraith is kind of the icing on the cake a little bit. That is just an absolute luxury item on him, and a scary one. I love that. I've said it time and time again. I love Frostwolf Skull. I love it on Magebane. I also love it on Sandwraith. Really, any hard melee carry, I'm just a big fan. Tier 2 tower in the mid looks like it is going to fall. That's going to be the end of the outer remaining towers here for the Legion. Just a couple of hits left from this beefcake Sandwraith. Looks like it is going to survive for a few moments longer here. Armadon trying to do what he can. The lone defender here. The rest of his team going to come in to back him up. The tower is going to fall. Actually, Plague Rider going to be the one to pick up the last hit. Pebble's going to go straight in, though. He's going to engage it onto Pyromancer. All of the illusions going to be used from both Forsaken Archer and Mr. Sandwraith. It looks like Sandwraith just going to win and clean this up. He's diving the base. He ain't afraid of no ghosts. He's going to go for it. Taking a lot of damage. Torture going to follow up, though. She's got the shrunken head. There's the ultimate. And wow, double tap now coming out for Sandwraith. The damage continuing. Plague Rider does get taken out, unfortunately. And actually, the Hellborn side does get cleaned up a little bit, perhaps diving too deep there. A 3-for-3 exchange. The two scary heroes left alive. I think maybe diving into the base towers was a bit too much, Min. They're ahead, but not ahead by that much here. And
yeah, that's right.
yep.
Well, they could not have underestimated both Forsaken Archer and Armadon, because Forsaken Archer has picked up his Savage Mace already, so he has quite a nice amount of damage output down there. So they should not underestimate Forsaken Archers with his Geometer's Bane on. So it's quite painful down there. And Armadon is really irritating down there, keeps spraying and slowing at the same time. So yeah, they had to bring one of them down to make ensure a smooth push for them.
Yep, absolutely. And I love this choice from Forsaken Archer to go ahead and pick up that Savage Mace, because in my mind, Wingbow is a very viable option for Sandwraith in this game. And of course, Savage Mace does hard counter Wingbow. So, you know, sort of preemptively grabbing the Savage Mace, just a great pickup. And exactly what Archer needs as well, just raw DPS to try and outcarry this Sandwraith. We're going to see Sandwraith pick up a double damage here, though, and go for Kong. It looks like it's going to be an easy Kongor kill. Absolutely no ward coverage from either team. You see one ward for the Hellborn just going down right now. Make that 2 wards, actually. But, yeah, they're going to be able to grab this Kong kill. A lucky bit of RNG right there for Mr. Sandwraith, grabbing that double damage. Red Power Throw going to come in, but it's a little bit too late. Token going to fall into the hands of Sandwraith. No big surprise there. And they're going to continue on. Other items that have been picked up. I love the choice for an Abyssal Skull onto Behemoth. There couldn't be a better choice right now. Sandwraith is almost capped out in item slots with that token, at least for now he is. So that's going to buff him up even more, buff up the whole team. I'd love to see that late game Abyssal come out, man. Makes my heart feel all warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, at least he had a lifesteal down there. So without lifesteal, he will be more vulnerable. So with life still, he's more tanky and he can steal life as well.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a good picked up item.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. Helps the whole team. I always say, I've been saying it for a long time, there aren't enough Abyssal Skulls in the game of Heroes of New Earth. It's such a good item right around this time. Great way to give your carry a nice little boost. And also help with pushing, just assist your whole team. You're going to see the engage commence, though. Pebble's going to go straight in. They're going to try and take out Hammerstorm. Looks like they're going to be successful. Hammerstorm going to fall. Torturer kind of in the front lines. Pebble's actually one of the front lines. He's going to back out. In comes Behemoth for a bit of a counter engage. That'll be the end of Pyromancer there. They're going to continue on forward. Forsaken Archer may be able to survive. Is he going to be able to get back to the well? Nope, that's going to be the end of him. Double tap coming out for Pebbles. Beautiful initiation upon counter initiation by the Hellborn team right there. A 4-for-0 exchange. Tokens still in the inventory of a Mr. Sandwraith. Bottom lane Iraq's going to fall, and I think we're pretty damn close to a GG here, man. OGSY looking like they're going to be in great shape here to eliminate their rivals, it would seem. Just regular old OGS.
Yeah, that's right. They are really strong and powerful. Because most probably it's because for the Legion team, they did not get any shrunken head, and they really have a lot of stuns and AoE damage, so that's one point to take note of. And
wow.
yeah, without shrunken head, oh my god.
Red Boots Doombringer, I like it. Oh man, not too often you see that. You're right about the shrunken heads, though. Absolutely, my friend. Just I couldn't have said it any better myself. We see 2 shrunken heads on the Hellborn side, and none on the Legion, and a couple of Mystic Vestments, but I think you're right, underestimating the power of the magic damage here. Looks like the game isn't going to end quite yet, though. Super creeps are out, but they are going to defend the 2 base towers at least a little bit longer, and that means we are going to get to see Plague Rider use that Doombringer a little bit, or the Broombringer, as I've been known to call it a time or two. Oh god, he's going to pick up a double damage too. Plague Rider, please tell me you're going to go to the base and not just use this double damage Doombringer to rice in the jungle. Nope, he's just gonna kill creeps here. Right click for 500. What's he do? I know. I'm gonna kill the easy camp.
Wow, 500 damage on Plague Rider. That is not even funny anymore.
Yeah, that is pretty ridiculous. Pretty ridiculous. A ballsy move, man. All it takes is for that Plague Rider to die, Forsaken Archer to grab that Doombringer. I mean, easily a Forsaken Archer with a Doombringer can push for the win while the rest of his team fends off the base. It's a risky move. It's bold. I like it, but it's pretty bold. Sandwraith's going to go in. He's going to grab a kill onto a Luna and head for the hills here. Just going to use the Geos. He has also since picked up a Behemoth's Heart here. Actually, wow. Absolutely ridiculous, this Sandwraith, man. So tanky at this point. 3.6k HP. 2 base towers fall, and yeah, I think those super creeps are going to be just a little too much. Don't worry, Plague Rider's still, he's farming away, man. He's hanging out in the jungle. He's dropping his items. He's having the time of his life. I don't know why he would buy a Doombringer. Like, why are you going to buy a Doombringer and then not use it before the game's over? Oh, man. Oh, Plague Rider, I don't understand you.
I don't understand him either. Most probably he's going to throw and just want to give an impression that he sell all his items and just bought a Doombringer down there.
Yeah. But a hell of a game, though. I do have to say, from my perspective, MVP of that game was Behemoth. 0-4 and 25. Most assists in the game, and absolutely deservingly so. That Behemoth, Tian Tang, played absolutely incredible. He landed so many great shockwaves, used that portal key so well, and he was one of the driving forces in his Sandwraith, being 17, 3, and 14 when the game was all said and done. Well played by OGS and OGSY, though. Stay tuned, guys. We got plenty more Heroes of New Earth coming your way.